let's set up the trucks. Okay, these old school kind of trucks with the bearings in them, here's the way we want to start this. First I'm going to take a little flat file and I'm going to smooth the tops. Don't make them flat, smooth them a little bit. Smooth them a little bit, they'll be nice and shiny. Okay, then I'm going to take, what number is this? Number 38. I'm going to take this number 38 drill bit, which happens to fit directly in here, just perfect. I'm not trying to drill it or ream it. All I want to do is clean it. So it fits right in there. And that'll give it a little cleaning on the inside. These things are pretty old, so you got to refresh them just every once in a while. There we go. And that won't wreck anything. They're still the same size, but now they're clean. Okay, then I'm going to take ox guard. I'm just going to take a tiny bit on the end tip of paintbrush here, and I'm just going to go in and around the hole and on top, in and around. I'm not trying to like coat this thing heavily. I just want a little bit of it in there. And then I'm going to put a little bit extra at the rivet right there. Remember when we tightened these? Put a little bit right there. Okay, that takes care of that part. So now let's go ahead and install some gears. Actually, on this one, we'll install gears second. First, what we got to do is we got to get the black wire soldered on. Goes now. Here's the frame. I've marked the front. The front is where the headlight bracket is. Okay. When you're setting up Athearn blue box, remember the rule is that these arms are toward you when it is facing front. They are directional. And if you switch them around, you're going backwards. So I need to solder on right here. And this is going to be, this is spring steel, so it's a little bit trickier. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a little square file like that, and I'm going to, I know that I want that wire to be right here, right alongside here. That's where I can get the wire out from under there. So I'm going to rough it. I'm just going to get some tiny gouging in there. I've already cleaned it, but to solder onto the spring steel, you want to make a nice little rough patch. Then I'm going to take some acid paste and put a little bit on the end of our screwdriver. I just want a tiny bit right there. Just a tiny bit. Okay, then I'm going to take soldering iron. And I want a tiny dot of solder on the end of this thing. Like that. Okay, now I'm going to tin this spot. Just barely. There, good enough. Then I'm going to take some acetone. Take this paintbrush and get that all over. Neutralize the acid. Okay, there. Now, no problems with acid. It's not going to rust the thing out. Now, I already have a black wire set up. Pinch and pull, twist the end of the wire so it's nice and tight. Tin it with some rosin paste. This stuff. Use rosin paste on your wire. Then put rosin paste on it again. So I got a glob of rosin paste on there. All right, now let's go to this little tiny mini vise here. See if we can lock this guy in there without him slipping out. Not too hard, I don't want to wreck nothing. Okay. Now we're going to take, there's already solder here. There's a little bit of rosin paste on the wire. Let's see if we can get him locked down right there. The tricky part's going to be holding him down. Keeping him where I want him. Not that good though, but now that he's on there, let's do this. No! Of course, he goes right on the floor. Alright, this one's the backhand one. The other ones I can turn around doing and get some, take some rosin. Okay, so I guess we're going to be doing this with the tweezers. Okay, now can we do it? Good. There we go. All set up. Okay, now we don't need this guy. Let's put in the gears. Get out, oops, let's get out our Mag 1 red lithium. Little screwdriver. Get a little bit, not too much, just a tiny bit. Look at the gear, look for a registration. This one has a square on one side. That'll be the registration. We want that facing up. So I'm going to wipe a tiny bit in here. Put them in place. Take the other one. He's got a registration mark. Let's put that facing up. So you can tell we're dealing with gears from different time periods because of the registration marks. This one's got a little notch. That one faces up. All right, now we don't need hardly any of this on here, just enough. It will spread where it needs to spread. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to take a little bit and we're just going to zoom in. I'm going to take a little bit on my screwdriver and I'm just going to start wiping them in there. A little bit right there. You need next to nothing for this stuff. Any extra is a complete waste. When it's going, sometimes you'll see these little tiny, there's some very tiny strings that will form as it's spreading out. And that means the gear's it's doing what it's supposed to. All right, let's put in some wheels. Now I've already cleaned the wheels. They've been gauged. They've been coated with Oxguard around a little bit on the back side so they don't corrode, and on the end here. So that way they stay nice and conductive. Let's put those guys in and let's put the top on. Set them down on there. They're in. Let's put the back cover on. Okay. Now, before I put the bottom cover on, I am going to put some Mag 1 on the gears on the wheel sets. So once again, I'm going to take a tiny bit. I'm just going to wipe it and go around. Flip it around. There we go. That's all. We don't need any more than that. And then let's put the bottom cover on. That may not be the right cover. No, it might be this guy. I had a bunch of extra parts on here that I got to figure out who goes where. Okay. Wheel set is ready. We don't need to do the red wire yet. We'll do that later. Beauty. That is a good wheel set right there. And it's set up with the black wire. And we'll get around to doing more wiring in a little while. There it is. Truck's all set.